All right, hey, welcome to a very special edition of Lockdown Sessions, brought to you, as always, by our friends over at True Heel Heat Wrestling Podcast. Our guys in New York City are always killing it, great sponsors. If you want to listen to a great pro wrestling podcast, I know you probably already listened to a bunch of them, but if you want to add one more, add True Heel Heat. If you want to add two more, Wrestling Travel, we got our own podcast. We're coming up on our 10th podcast recording coming up, so that's a huge deal. I think we've got probably 100 listeners now, so we're getting there. But somebody who's got more than 100 people listening to him when he talks, Garrisaon Creed, welcome back to the show.
Hey, how are we doing, Justin?
Hey, doing good. Now you are the answer to a trivia question. Now you are the first two-time guest of the Lockdown Sessions. Two-time.
I'll take it.
Hey, you know, you're going to have more notoriety out there, but for right now, this is the good thing. And I just had to have you back on because, as you know, you pay attention to what we do. We've sponsored Warrior Wrestling, and now we sponsored the Independent Wrestling Expo, who had just all kinds of names on there. And lo and behold, somebody crashed their party on Friday night.
I found out they had an opportunity. They had a battle royal. It was going for the winner of that was going to have an opportunity at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Nick Aldis. I had to acquire myself a plane ticket. I'm not going to tell you how I did that, and got myself down there to and intervene. I tried. I wanted that championship, but more importantly, I wanted the world to take notice, and I felt that more than happened when I was down in Dallas.
Yeah, well, I'm watching it live on Fight TV, watching the Battle Royal. Winner gets a shot at the NWA title, and I see this barely in the background, somebody jumping the rails and coming in, and of course, I immediately recognize that's Garrisaon freaking Creed making himself known in the Battle Royal. And you did make yourself known, and you're throwing guys out. Pretty soon you're in the corner tearing it up with Impact's own Ace Austin. I was shocked. I mean, how did you get by security?
I had a nice conversation with them coming on in. Showed them my ticket that I had acquired at the front door. Walked right on in, took myself a seat. If you look closely on the video, I'm there watching Warhorse and Myron Reed, just like any other fan watching the show, and they killed it, by the way. That was my first time seeing Warhorse live. Great, phenomenal talent right there. And I just waited, bided my time, took a nice opportunity just to do what I did. And it paid off. It did pay off.
Yeah, so it might not have paid off that night because
no, the individuals running the show, they noticed I caused a little bit of havoc, so they wanted to see more. They didn't have an actual match set up for me, but they said, hey, here's a time slot. We have a halftime heat going on the next day. You can do what you want. And I took that opportunity. I mean, with the talent that was in that locker room, I mean, we got guys from AEW, we got guys from Impact, we got guys from MLW, and we're not talking about any slouches either. Alexander Hammerstone, Lance Hoyt, Brian Cage. I mean, these are some big, heavy hitters. So I called out to any of them. I didn't say I was going to beat them. I didn't say I was going to pummel them. I just wanted one of them to come on out and make me famous. And Madman Fulton answered.
Yeah, Impact's own Madman Fulton. I'm watching the video. You're looking towards the locker room. Nobody's coming out. Another guy jumps the fence. That was the theme of your weekend. And it's freaking Impact's own.
Impromptu. If anything, the world learned that Garrisaon Creed makes things happen.
100%. So Madman Fulton is coming in, and I'm like, oh, shit. He's huge. But
I had that moment myself. I took advantage of what I could. Dropped as many bombs as I could. That guy's got a firm chin. He took as many of these as I could give him. Gave him a nice solid twister kick, Hayabusa kick. Gave him a solid German suplex. Tried getting the pin. Hell, he even grabbed his jeans, trying to pull him up for a quick near fall. I don't know. The guy is a beast. That's all I can say. Again, I just wanted to get that moment. Let the world know that I'm there. I'm available. I'm gonna make things happen. I want to take notice. Just give me another moment, another opportunity. I'll make even more things happen.
And the fans are like, as a fan taking notice, obviously took notice of you, and as a fan sitting in the chair going, okay, he doesn't know who's going to answer this challenge, and here comes 6'9" Madman Fulton, and I'm going, oh, this is going to be tough. And
he's not going to expect this no-name guy to put Madman Fulton down on a knee with a punch either.
No, that's the thing. I was like, hey, you want to know what happens when you're a guest on the lockdown sessions? Big things, baby. You get on the big scale. So hopefully no, very, very impressed. Was very happy to see you show up. But just, Garrisaon Creed, that's kind of the MO. You never know where he's going to show up.
That's I mean, it's funny that you say that, because now I got a couple of other dates coming on up. I mean, Chicago's not too far away from here, and they got 3 straight weekends running Warrior Wrestling.
That's what I was going to bring it up. We are sponsoring Warrior Wrestling.
We got GCW right around the corner in Indiana. They got, what is it, 13, 14, 15 shows, October 9th, 10th, and 11th. I mean, these are right around the block from where I'm at.
Well, that's the thing. It's got to be scary for some people, because Dallas certainly wasn't around the block. There is no, when I say I don't know where you're going to show up, I certainly didn't expect Garrisaon Creed all the way in Dallas. And now some of these shows that you're mentioning are really close. So
it's just like every time that my music hits, you hear the announcer say, operating locations worldwide. Excuse my language, but I take that shit seriously. And I'm going to be wherever, whenever, however I want to be, when I want to be.
And the thing I was worried about, not worried about, but I was like, I know this was supposed to be a 3-way match at the Indy Expo for the NWA title. And I know that Jeff Cobb had some travel issues and couldn't make it. Does Creed all of a sudden show up in this title match? I kept waiting for that too. And because you've got us all on the edge of our seats. You know, even if you couldn't have even legally sanctioned take that title, I was like, this son of a gun's going to make himself known no matter what.
I'm still not even sure if I was legally sanctioned in the Battle Royal.
Right. That's what you turned our head and looked for. I know that match with some of the halftime heat matches, Indy Expo is going to release on YouTube. And that one is, and I'm not just saying it because you're a 2-time lockdown session, but that is one heck of a match that you had with Madman Fulton. It was great. So once that is out there, we will push it. But it's very interesting. We've got the Stadium Series coming up in Chicago with Warrior Wrestling. So, and I know that's a quick car ride for you.
And I'll put it out there. They have 3 dates coming on up. It's this weekend, the Saturday the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. I will be in attendance on the grounds each one of those days. If I'm going to have an impact, if not, we'll see. I mean, it all depends on how itchy my trigger finger is each one of those days.
I would think at this point the promoters would be supporting you, because that's one more ticket sale to the Mercenary.
I'm having a fair amount of business discussion in places across the board. I'm talking with guys. I'm talking with possibly going back down to Dallas, depending on other plans. It could be as early as October again. Again, I got I mentioned GCW again. Nobody at this point, I believe, is expecting me to that. But I'm announcing right now, I'm going to be in attendance at those shows as well. Um, I'm to the point now in my career, I'm kind of stayed back, studied opponents, studied the skill, studied the art of professional wrestling, studied the different styles that you got out there, the different competitors, the different companies. Because I mean, what companies you want to work for is also another major part of this business. Who you want to be affiliated with, who does good business. That's what I'm kind of checking out now. And now that I got the little toes dipped in the water, I'm feeling a little froggy. I want to get out there more. I want to cause more ruckus, cause an impact, get those eyes on me, and get on those bigger stages so more of the world will know what I bring to the table.
Right. And originally the lockdown sessions was started, and we talked about it in the first one we did, about what people were doing during this pandemic and lockdown. And certainly what you weren't doing was resting on everything that you have done. You, dude, you got to be blind to know that you haven't taken any days off in the gym. The fact that you're showing up.
Even the days when the gym were shut down, I used trees, climbed trees, did pull-ups on them, used the playgrounds until I had an incident with a police officer that told me to stop. I'm running around the blocks. I picked up an elevation mask, so the little bit of cardio I was able to do is now increased tenfold using that. Old school techniques, just like I did in basic training: Hindu squats, squat thrusts, push-ups, sit-ups, leg lifts, supine bicycles. I mean, just whatever I can do. Getting a hold of a couple of elastic bands, even. Just doing things and doing them right, eating right, not sitting back going, "Oh, I have no idea. Woe is me. When is the world going to open back up? I'm going to scouch out. I'm going to call a Diner Dash and get a whole bunch of junk food from McDonald's." No, screw that. I got tons of pounds of chicken breasts in the freezer, broccoli, black beans. I'm eating good. I'm feeling good. I'm possibly in the best shape of my life right now. The best thing that COVID did is the few minor aches and pains that I did have, I got to let those recover. So I'm 100% healthy at the top of my game right now, rip roaring, ready to go. Probably got a little extra nitrous in the tank, and I'm ready to hit that button and light her up.
What does a guy do on the road? What do you, as far as your meals, do you bring stuff with you? Do you have to do some planning on what you're doing? Just how do you keep, because I know you can't just go, hey, everything here is junk food, so I just can't eat. You got to keep fuel in the machine. So what does a guy do? Like,
I do have a backpack cooler now. I can fit about 3 days worth of meal prep, if not a little bit more. There's a plethora of different types of meal supplement bars now, protein bars, power bars, that sort of thing. A big part of controlling the appetite is how much water you're at. Most of the time when you're hungry, you're not really hungry. It's your body telling you need more water. So I've just been drinking a lot of water to go along with that. If I do have to, I'm out of food, my food's bad, whatnot, or I'm just craving something, I smarten myself up. I know what to order from, say, McDonald's. That's on the better side of being healthy. It's going to be a little calorie heavy, but if you're doing it once a week or once every 2 weeks or so, it's not so bad. So usually my go-to is I get 2 quarter pounders, no cheese, one with a bun. Depends on how I'm doing with energy wise, whatnot. If I'm pretty dragging ass, they'll both have the bun. Get those extra carbs in there. Black coffee, never get a whole bunch of junk in that, so I stick with black coffee, water, and that's what I do. You got to stay really disciplined with it, especially when you're on the road.
Yeah, it's too easy to take. I know from being in the spot where I was watching what I eat, and then it's too easy to get off that. Do you drink black coffee every day?
I try to.
Yeah.
About at least half a pot when I can.
I hear a lot of good things about it, but I've never been able to coffee affects my intestines adversely. So I don't know if I got to train my way into it or not. Everybody else looks at me like, you're an adult and you don't drink coffee. I'm like, trust me, you don't want me to be drinking coffee. I got to do something here. I got to turn heel live and say, look who went out and got himself some Creed merch. Directly from the man. So I got to say, man, I'm a beanie guy. I'm up north, starting to get cool. And why not debut the Mercenary? Because that's what this show is all about. Not only are people going to be able to get to know you and hopefully buy some tickets and see you, but still want to get, and you got brand new shirts out too. You just put out some new gear,
right? Available on prowrestlingtees.com/Garrisaon Creed. I still got the old mercenary tab style skull t-shirt in green and black. We also have the Creed Legion t-shirt, and we have the new Manifest Destiny crest on there as well.
You also, like, for the kids, you got dog tags,
shot
glasses. No, those aren't for the kids, but
yeah. I got the shot glasses too for the adults. I mean, they can be for the kids if you fill them up with grape juice. But I also got them in 2 sizes too. We've got the 1.75 ounce plastic trainers, and then we've got the 2.25 ounce glass professionals. So whatever level of mercenary and drinking game you are, you can drink responsibly.
Like I've said from day one, love Garrisaon Creed or hate him when he's in the ring, if he's heel, if he's face. Dude, you've got some of the coolest merch around. So I had to get me a t-shirt and a beanie. So fantastic. And I want to ask you what's coming up, but the coolest thing now about Garrisaon Creed is I know you're advertised on some shows coming up, but it's the ones that you're not advertised that are really.
Now you just gotta keep your eyes open and watch for the mercenary to just make it known that he's showing up at places. Especially now, I mean, we got our pandemic situation is. I feel that we're on the decline. That people are getting a little bit more comfortable opening back up. We can have larger crowds. Social distancing and masks are still required, but people are out there. They want to get entertained, and I've been at the forefront since June to be one of those guys to help entertain, to help get people's minds off of the pandemic and our national situation that we're at. Because it's strenuous, especially when you're expected to stay home and self-quarantine and not get on out there. It takes a toll on your mental capabilities. But yeah, right now, I mean, I'm looking at the bigger stages. I'm looking at just showing up whenever I can. I still got some shows coming up in Wisconsin at some places. We have a SCW in September 25th that I'll be at. I'm not looking at my schedule right now for October. October is definitely in lieu. We got some border issues might be hindering my travel, maybe. But even if the Canadian border doesn't open up, I got some alternative ideas to be ongoing. And then I'm also in talks with companies down in Texas now after the Dallas show. That'll possibly be happening in maybe November, December, maybe sooner. Still working out dates, and I'm pretty open still for 2021. I haven't really nailed down anything I want to do yet. Again, I'm being more selective where I'm going. I want to go to places that are going to make an impact. I want to be on those bigger stages, work those bigger names, show the world that I'm just not some guy that's going to work in the local bar. I can hang with the big timers. I can hang in the big leagues. I got more to offer, and I want to bring it to the table.
That's the thing. You did not look like a fish out of water with Madman, Fulton, or on the stage down there with the big names. You fit right in with the big names. You're a name I'm looking at, like Sam Adonis last year, where how did I not know about this guy now that I've seen him work and see what he does? And you notice Sam Adonis is blowing up. He's no longer a hidden secret. A lot of independent wrestlers fit that bill. So it's nice to see you jumping on to bigger stages as a guy who's known you for a while and has seen you wrestle locally. In you bring it, whether you're in front of 4 people or 4,000. I know that from watching it, but it's just as I said, kind of off camera. It's almost like a proud. It's like, this is my favorite band. Nobody's ever heard of them, but I don't get jealous that now all of a sudden people are into them. I'm kind of glad when all of a sudden they got a #1 hit or they're getting radio airtime. So I'm like one of those proud guys, like, hey, this is my kind of my hidden band rocking out, and now you guys are starting to see what I saw.
And that's how it works. I mean, I'm performing and I'm doing that show in front of 40 people one day, and I got those fans. I'm making sure to make those connections, and the next thing you know, a year later, I'm in front of 400 or maybe 4,000. But you know what? I wouldn't have been able to do it without that first 40, and that first 40 telling each one of their friends. Now that 40 became, 50, 100, 400. I keep looking back, and I got a couple of fans that I'm thinking of right now on top of my head that have helped me along that path, kind of doing what I'm doing. So it's very appreciative, knowing, hey, that you're all sitting there going, all right, I remember seeing this guy a couple of years ago, and now I'm seeing him kicking ass on a bigger stage. That you getting me in the feels, my man.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and I think when I tagged you in something on my Facebook, that I had a lot of people that I was friends with that go, hey, I remember meeting Creed 2 years ago at a small show in Wisconsin. What a cool dude, and they're happy for you. And it's just that's how it works. You are getting your name out as much as you can, but the fans really help build you and get your name out.
And like I think I mentioned it possibly in our last podcast too, is like when I started training to do this, again, a little bit of older age than most guys would, I'm thinking I'm just going to do a local bar show once a month. I'm going to be that guy. I'm not going to be doing much. And then things started happening. Now I'm booked in places every month. Now I'm in Minnesota along with it. Now, I'm doing a tour in Canada. Now I'm 4 tours deep, going through Canada. I'm going cross country. I've been to the Monster Factory. I've been to New Jersey. Been to West Virginia now. It just keep going, and it becomes an addiction, and it becomes more. I want to get to that next place. I want to build the fan base. I want to get more eyes on me. I want to get on a bigger stage. I want to work bigger talent. I constantly want to challenge myself. I constantly want to get to that next level, and I never felt better about it. It's driving me, and I just, not only just for myself, but even like the fans that are, that were following me from the get-go, or maybe the fans that'll start following me next week, that just drives me to do more. I want to go out there and entertain them. I want to bring them to that forefront, watch what I do, and just do what I can do.
One question, and feel free to skip it if you want to, but I know as fans watching, when you jump into the ring like you did a couple weekends ago with Madman Fulton on Impact, or even just tearing it up with Ace Austin from Impact in a battle royal, is there like a litmus test for you that you're like, okay, now that you've gotten in, you've been battling people across an indies for a long time, but now you're in the ring with somebody who's on and it doesn't just have to be Madman Fulton, but when you're in the ring with somebody who has quote unquote made it, is that each chance, are you giving yourself like okay, here's where I'm at, or I can bring it here? You got to get some type of satisfaction out of hanging and banging with those guys.
I do. I look at it. Probably just like any other schoolboy that gets to look at any famous person or athlete that they're looking up to. Oh, hey, but at the same time, the professional side of me goes, okay, this is that next challenge that I got. Can I, step up and work with this guy? I mean, a couple of years back, I got called in to do a show and work Ryan Cannon, a dingo dog from Australia, and it kind of blew me back to be, okay, I'm the guy that they're bringing in to work that the guy that they just brought from Australia. I mean, they have all these other talents here, and they brought me in to do that. So I kind of felt humble, but now I also felt obligated. Hey, there's an expectation here. They're expecting me to bring it, and just like I did with Dingo Dog, just like I did with Madman Fulton, I still think I brought it. And on the back of my head, there's things I know I could have done better. I'm still learning. I'm still a student of the game, but I can still feel confident that each time I got a challenge, that I can bring it to that next level. I can come and meet that challenge. And even if I fail the challenge, say it happens, I know what I can improve on the next time that challenge is presented.
Right. That's the thing. I think when you're younger, early on in the business, it doesn't matter who's across from you. I always got that nervous thing, like, don't, okay, I'm actually here in a real ring, fans. But when you start going in, you talk about those challenges, you reach a point where instead of going, man, I really don't want to mess this up, you go, no, I really want to bring my A game. This is opportunity. And I know every time you're in the ring, no matter who's across from you, it's opportunity.
And you brought up that nervousness. I like that nervousness. I compare that nervousness to any time before, when I'm loaded up, I'm ready to go, go into the Humvee and I'm leaving the wire to go out on a mission. It's that nervousness that something could happen. But I want to be ready. Just like I was ready back in Iraq, back when I was in service, I'm ready for this. And say the challenge is bigger. I got Madman Fulton coming up, or we're going and doing a pickup on a high value target. That nervousness percolates a little bit higher. It's bubbling a little bit more, and I like it that much more. So I mean, that just feeds my need to bring it to that level, just to bring it that much more to it.
Yeah, I mean, I still get the nervousness on the interviews. Something always replaces it. Like sometimes I'll just go to a show to buy a ticket, not to jump into a battle royal because I'm too old, but I'll still get that feel and that nervousness. I'm
still trying to figure out why those two security guards didn't question the face paint.
Well, COVID, they may have thought it was a mask or something, but all right.
I
now,
didn't have a mask on.
Yep, you did have a mask. Now, did you get a lot of reaction from the fans after that match with Madman Fulton? I mean, you got the reaction. I watched the crowd. The crowd was into that match. Everybody wanted to see
Madman Fulton. Yeah, they were highly receptive of the match with Fulton. What got me too was a large amount of the locker room. I'm not going to drop any names, but I had a good chunk of the locker room actually paid attention to that match, and I got a lot of positive feedback on it. I got a lot of positive feedback from people that I've looked up to even before I was in wrestling, which that probably hit me in the feels a lot. Going, hey, I used to watch this guy on TV, and now he's saying he really enjoyed what I've done in the ring. And then talking with other people who I've learned to respect in this business as well, and getting their feedback, and generally for the most part getting a lot of positives, and the little nitpicky things that you can always fix and everything. But it was also, I haven't really come across a lot of that. It was an extremely positive and educating locker room, a lot of encouragement behind it. It felt at home. I felt good there. And kind of another reason why now I'm striving to, get on those other bigger stages. I'm feeling more comfortable to go on over and maybe do an invasion over at Warrior or GCW now. And just to see how that kind of goes over. And be better acquainted with even more talent and see where I can get that kind of encouragement to pursue going where I want to go.
That's the thing you've hit on. The higher up you go in a locker room full of more names, it seems the more of a positive vibe that you have going in. And that's been from my experience to people I'm talking to, people that have gotten shots, one-offs with WWE will say, I can't believe that locker room treats us on the same level because we're doing the same thing. We may not have made it. We may not have the experience yet to make it, or we may not ever make it, but they appreciate what we're doing because they've all been there, most of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you on many, many more shows with many, many different locker rooms. Because that's the thing. As you start getting on these, you're going to start making connections. You're going to have somebody notice you, a promoter here, a wrestler there that goes, hey, I think I could do a good program with this guy. So it's nice to see you expanding. You're a man without borders anyway, but it's nice to see you expanding to Dallas and getting out there. And is it suck for that local fan to maybe go, hey, I don't get to see Creed as much, or it makes it a little bit more special when he does come to town? But I know that you're going out and you're doing bigger and better things. And you are, like I said, you didn't take any days off in the gym. You don't take any days off now. You go out, and I've learned this a long time ago. No matter what business is in, the biggest promoter is going to be yourself. As cool as it's going to be cool for somebody to notice you, but they ain't going to notice you at the bar up here in Tomahawk, Wisconsin, as much as you're getting on these shows that have Fight TV and all kinds of stuff. So
it is nice getting recognized when you do go to the bar and they buy a couple of T-shirts and your tab is covered.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing. I got a story I could tell you off the air, but yeah. So I want to be full disclosure to everybody watching. It's late night here in Wisconsin, so want to be respectful because I know a big part of working out, Creed, and eating right is getting all of your sleep to all the kids that might be watching this. So I want to make sure that you get your 8 hours tonight. So as always,
if there's anything that's the horrible part of trying to take care of myself, that's probably the one that I lack is the sleep.
Oh man, and I can't tell you. I don't know if it's COVID or what, but there's days when I feel like I don't get any sleep, and then there's days where I feel like I could sleep for like a 24-hour period. I had one of those today, and I was chalking it up to like.
You mentioned days off. What's that?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That'll be something to look forward to one of these days. I just know that, like today, I was like, man, I got so much stuff to do. I blame the environment of the go. One thing I wanted to bring up to you, and just as two guys just shooting the shit here, you talked about the borders opening up in Canada. Things are going well here in the States, but I was just talking to this will be pertinent to when everybody watches this, to my guys over in the UK office. The United Kingdom is about to go. It is illegal for a gathering of more than 6 people. They're about to do that the following Monday. And I was saying to the guys, and I don't want to start a conspiracy theory, but I go, it seems like when we're bad, they're good. Seem like we're doing good, and now they're going into the total opposite. This whole thing has got me mixed up, you know.
There's I'm trying not to get entangled in anything here.
I don't want to get political or conspiracy, but it's just weird.
Right, it is. When you look at the numbers, when you compare any other country compared to the numbers, the U.S. Once we passed Italy, we became it. We have all the numbers when you compare them against any other nation. I mean, we're up in the hundreds of thousands of cases. Canada is still under 5 digits, maybe total. and that's they have much larger territory than us. I know back in was the beginning part of no, it was back the beginning of August. Over a week span, the entire province of Manitoba had 18 additional cases, and they took a step back in their opening up process. That was 18 cases in a week in the land mass, the size of both North and South Dakota. We get more than 18 cases a day in the county that I live in. There's a big disparity. But you can also go back to the diagnosis of COVID too. We were very hazy on what we're diagnosing, and that the numbers may be fudged or may not be fudged. I can't even follow it anymore.
That's the thing. I can't either. I saw two different reports on the gathering in Sturgis that, oh my God, this has infected 250,000 people and that's why I have to stay off social media. And then somebody else having a quote from somewhere else saying they've only had like 5 cases from it. And I'm like, okay, I don't watch the news anyway.
And from what I've read about Sturgis and anything that involves numbers that they're coming out with are all estimates and educated guesses. Because of the vast amount of travel and not local people that go to Sturgis, they have no way of tracking that. So all they can do is guess.
Right, and that's why I stay off social media, because one guy's guess is another guy's truth, and it becomes an argument.
Why I like anything having to do with COVID, I maintain my hygiene. I wear my mask. I use my hand sanitizer. I take care of me and my own. My son as well, who likes going around with his little mercenary style. Looks like a little Winter Soldier running around with his mask on. But we take care of ourselves and our own, and we've both gotten tested multiple times already, just to kind of try and stay on top of everything going on.
So let's jump from that frying pan right into something completely different. Final question, as always. We kind of covered it. Now I've watched your Twitter grow, not by leaps and bounds, but it's growing. So can you please plug all of your social medias? Obviously, we go to Pro Wrestling Tees, look up, but where can...
you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look up Garrisaon Creed, Garrisaon Creed. It'll pop up on each one of them. Again, also on my Pro Wrestling Tees, prowrestlingtees.com/Garrisaon Creed. You'll find my stuff on there. Or if you get a hold of me on any of the social media, shoot me a message. I can send you a link, send you links to matches on YouTube. Ask me a question. I'm pretty. I enjoy interacting with my fans fairly often, letting them know where I'm going to be, where I'm going to be at next, where they can see me live, where they can see me on YouTube, and just kind of, seeing what's up.
Yeah, check it out on All Fight TV live streams. You never know where Creed is going to show up. So Garrisaon Creed, two-time lockdown session. Yeah, I thank you very much for joining us again, and I'm looking forward to number 3.
Hey, we'll see what big things happen before that. Look forward to it.
Well, we got to get you before you're big time, and your contract says you can't hang out with us. So we got to get you in as much as we can. So thanks for joining us.